Hey y'all, it's your girl Ruth E, and I'm back with another video. So I made a Black History Month, a Black Herstory Month fashion related video. Well, I made 4 of them on my TikTok, and I was like, I spit some good facts in these videos. So I was like, let me download them, put it together, and post it here on YouTube. So if anybody on YouTube wants to watch it and know about the women that I talked about in this video, you know, they get some history, some herstory. So I talked about 4 Black women in fashion throughout the video, so definitely get into it. We have 1, Miss Lowe, 2, Miss Zelda Wynn Valdes, 3, Miss Ruth E Carter, and 4, Miss June Ambrose. All mixture of designers, fashion designers, costume designers, stylists, and just women in the fashion industry doing amazing things. So definitely get into the video, subscribe, like the video, share, follow me on my social medias, and yeah, get into it, get into this history. Hi guys, it is your girl Bria Van Kooten. 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 Bria Van Kooten, and welcome back to my channel, y'all. So y'all know it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month, by the way. But I wanted to share some Black history fashion facts. If you know anything about me, if you don't, hi, I'm Bria. But if you know anything about me, you know I love a fun fact. I am the pop culture girl. I love knowing things and sharing that with people. So I have 4 fashion people in history that I want to talk about. Let's get into it. The first person I'm going to talk about is Lowe. She was the first Black woman to become a noted fashion designer. She opened her first dress salon in Tampa. During that time, she saved up $20,000. This was during the 1940s. She saved up $20,000 and moved to New York City, which was her dream, to live in New York City. See, even back then, the girls wanted to come to New York City. And they still do. But she moved to New York City, and she worked commissioned designing for Bendel's, Henry Bendel, Saks Fifth, and Neiman Marcus. Now living in New York City, a New York City girly, in 1950, she opened her second store on Lexington Avenue. And of course, as a Black woman, that was a big deal. You have a store in Lexington, you're that girl. Her business was doing so well on Lexington that in 1950, she was designing dresses for all the girlies. You know, the fly white girls during that time. She was designing their dress. Okay, no shade. She became so popular that in 1953, she designed the silk taffeta wedding gown for Jacqueline Bouvier, known to the world as Jacqueline Kennedy, Jackie O. She designed that wedding gown. That time, that dress cost $500. In 1953, that dress cost $500. Today's money, that would be $6,000. Lowe didn't get any credit for designing that gown, even though the critics loved it, everyone loved it. It was showcased and plastered all over the news, talking about how amazing Jackie looked. Great design, but she did not get her credit. She was known as the color designer. Didn't even respectfully say her name. She was just known as the color designer. Until 1963, when JFK was assassinated. That is when she got her credit. 10 years later. It's crazy how they just always wanted to discredit people of color, Black women, who are just doing the damn thing. Like, they was just scared to give the credit where credit is due. Like, this Black woman is designing gowns for numerous high-class white women, and then designing the gown for Jackie Kennedy, and she couldn't even get the credit that she deserved. It's so sad. It's so sad. That's why to see Black designers do well and make it today, it's a beautiful moment. To all those Black designers that didn't get the love, didn't get the credit that they deserved. They didn't want to give Black women their credit in design so bad, so much, that even at the height of her career, she had rich clients all over. She was not paid what she was supposed to be paid. And after paying her staff, she was virtually broke. Filed for bankruptcy and all. This story like really made me sad, especially like seeing the difference. Like I said, Jacqueline Kennedy's gown during that time cost $500 to be made, and today that would have been $6,000, $6,000. Of course, money is different. That has changed, but even $500 at that time to make the gown, silk, ivory silk taffeta. If you know materials, you know Lux, okay? Even 500 at that time was still like kind of low. Modern times, her work did get its love and dedication at the Metropolitan Museum of Art here in New York City in 2022 at the exhibition In America. If you guys remember, that was the theme that year for the Met Gala. It was In America, a lexicon of fashion. And during that exhibition, Lowe got the love and to showcase her work. We're in school, okay? For episode 2, I want to talk about Zelda Wynn Valdes, who was a fashion designer and costumer that many people probably haven't heard about. I haven't heard about her. I did my research and I found out some things about her, and Miss Zelda was that girl, okay? So I'm here to share it with y'all. So she had her first dressmaking store in White Plains, New York in 1935. Then in 1948, she opened the first Black-owned Manhattan boutique. That is iconic. Like when I heard, I was like, that girl, okay? That girl won. I still have more, still more. Miss Zelda designed the original Playboy bunny costumes. Don't play with her, okay? The first original Playboy bunny costumes was designed by a Black woman, okay? Iconic. During her time as a designer costumer, she designed for some of the most iconic, legendary women in Hollywood that we have all heard about, seen, watched movies based on. It was a list. I'm about to tell y'all some of them, but it was a list. This is how I know she was that girl, like designing for these girls. And there's a lot of gowns, because when I was looking at photos, there's a lot of gowns that we have seen throughout the years of these women in these gowns, and you didn't know who was the designer. Is Miss Zelda Valdes, honey. She designed gowns for Dorothy Dandridge. And that's my girl. I studied Dorothy Dandridge down, okay? Because one thing about me, I do my research. After I watched Halle Berry play in, you know, if you've never watched the movie, Introducing Dorothy Dandridge, Halle Berry played Dorothy Dandridge from teen all the way to adulthood. And she ate that girl up. Because Miss Halle Berry, honey, the versatility, okay? That's my girl. But did my full dive into Dorothy Dandridge and everything that she did throughout her career, and how she was like snubbed a lot of the times and hurt by men and like situations, all that. Yeah, but I've watched Dorothy Dandridge performances and I've seen like the gowns and things that she wore, and Ms. Zelda Valdes designed a lot of those. She also designed gowns for Gladys Knight, honey. Yes, Gladys the Knight, okay? My girl, Miss Diane Carroll. One of my favorite girls in Hollywood. Like, I sit and watch all of her interviews because just hearing this woman speak, is just so beautiful and empowering, and I really love her. And then the next person I'm gonna say, also sit and watch all of her interviews, and she is amazing, was amazing, Miss Eartha Kitt. Do you hear the powerful, amazing women that she designed gowns for? Like, these women were at the top ahead of their career. Like Diane Carroll, first black woman to have a TV show where she's starring in. Miss Eartha Kitt, the first black Catwoman. Like, these women were those girls and empowering in their career and their life. So for Miss Zelda Valdes to design for these powerful, strong women, and her being one of those powerful, strong women who was the first to do something, iconic. I told you she's iconic. I'm not done. We have a couple more names. Ruby D, Aretha Franklin, honey, beautiful gowns. Josephine Baker. And you know, Josephine Baker had the looks when she was performing, okay? And last but not least, Miss Ella Fitzgerald. And this is the gag. This is how I'm telling you she was that girl. She only fitted Ella Fitzgerald once. In 12 years, she only fitted her once. She did most of her design for Ella with her imagination. Because there was no video call. There was no look at me, look how I look right now. Just her imagination. She designed gowns for Ella Fitzgerald. I'm telling you, Miss Zelda was that girl, honey. When I was reading her story, I was like, black woman always was doing the damn thing. Like, nobody could stop us. But in today's episode, we are talking about Ruth E. Carter, costume designer, which a lot of you guys probably have heard about her, but we'll get into it and y'all let me know if y'all heard about her. So her career blew up when she met Spike Lee at the Theater Center in Los Angeles. Went on to do costume design for a couple of Spike Lee films, including Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, and School Days. I'm sure you guys have all heard of those movies and watched those movies, and now you know Ruth E. Carter did the styling and costume design for all of those. She also went on to do costume design for Steven Spielberg's Amistad and John Singleton's Baby Boy, as well as Mara Brock Akil's Be a Mary Jane, my show. I was like, yes, her doing Be a Mary Jane, honey. And What's Love got to do with it. Of course, the Tina Turner movie, she did the costume design for that as well. You know, just to name a few of the things that she has done throughout her career. This is probably where a lot of you guys know her from. Of course, she had the biggest recognition of her career when she did the costume design for Black Panther and, of course, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. I'm pretty sure when I say this, you guys will be like, that's where I know her from. Yes, Miss Ruth E. Carter did the costume design for both of those movies, which was beautiful, of course, which was inspired by traditional African garments. And you could see that, you could tell within the work and the movies, watching the movies, she did her research and it was just beautifully done. Like, the pieces were immaculate. Of course, the movie was amazing, the actors was amazing, but you were also glued to the TV because of the styling, the costume design, the looks, the creations. It was just beautiful. And of course, from Black Panther, she went on to be the first Black woman to win the Academy Award, the Oscar, for Best Costume Design. And she also won it again for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is well deserved. And in 2021, she got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for her years and years and years of work. But of course, you know, sometimes it just takes that one thing, that one big thing to just like make you be like, all right, we giving her this. Because of course, she's been in this business for years and years and years and doing so much amazing work. But of course, it took till Black Panther in 2018 for her to get like that big boom, that big push, having the star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame and then going on to also winning the Oscar for both movies for Best Costume Design. It just, you know, it's always that one big thing that you're like remembered for and known for. One thing, what I noticed, because of course, like I said, I've known about Ruth E. Carter. Like I have seen things that she has done and watched like movies and shows, and then because I'm the person that reads the credits to see who does what, and I remember seeing her name pop up a lot of times on styling and costume design, and I was like, oh, because I think she also did How Stella Got Her Groove Back, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like she did that as well. There's a lot of things that she has done. So just looking at all the things that she has done, she has worked and done a lot of styling and costume design for a lot of strong, powerful characters and movies and television, like Black Panther, What's Love Got to Do with Tina Turner, like it's just like Being Mary Jane. And I also noticed that she worked with Angela Bassett multiple times. Of course, like I said, What's Love Got to Do with It? She worked with her in that. She worked with her in Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I definitely believe she did definitely believe she did How Stella Got Her Groove Back. So again, she worked with Angela Bassett in that. I just love like learning more and reading up more. And of course, like I said, I knew who Ruth E. Carter was, but of course, like indulging and going into more learning about her background and her story and all of that, it's always great to know and learn. And I just love learning and sharing my knowledge with what I have learned. On today's video, we are talking about costume designer, wardrobe stylist, creative director, one of my faves in the industry, definitely an inspiration for me, for sure, growing up, learning about styling and wardrobe styling and all of the above. Miss June Ambrose. My girl, I had to include June. I had to talk about June because she is iconic and legendary in this game. First off, Miss June is a Caribbean gal like me. She's from Antigua, if you guys did not know that. But she grew up in the Bronx. This is how you know you're gonna be a creative from a child. Because I read somewhere that she used to cut up her grandmother's curtains, blinds, and make outfits for her Barbie dolls. Like a lot of the times your career is definitely started from you being a child. Like you know what you are meant to do. You don't know what it is exactly yet because you're a child, but it definitely, childhood stuff definitely shapes you and make you who you are. So to start off her career, she was interning at MCA Records, which interning at MCA Records helped her to start styling the new artists and upcoming artists through the label. Back then, like, see how easy that is? Like, you just intern at a record label and then you just get to style the new artists. Like, today, it's so much more. Like, that's what I always say. Like, I hope it goes back to that. Or I just wish I grew up in that, because sometimes talent gets looked over these days, which is so sad. Yeah. But anyways, continuing with Miss June. And if you don't know, June was one of the first stylists to style her clients in high fashion pieces, okay? She took, like, Jay-Z, that's the first person that, you know, I don't know if you know, she styled Jay-Z in the 90s. She still styles him to this day. And she took him from, you know, the Brooklyn boy wearing the baggy jeans, the Timbs, the, you know, the New York boy, the New York style, the Brooklyn boy style, and she took him into wearing the suits and the ties and the Tom Ford and all that, to that like classy, dressy man. Yes, June Ambrose is that girl. And then she also styles, of course, Missy Elliott, Diddy, Swizz Beatz. Like, she has styled so many people in the hip-hop industry. She has styled and costume design over 200 music videos, y'all. That girl, okay? Some of those music videos include Let Me Love You by Mario, The Thong Song by Cisco, of course, Work It for Missy Elliott, which is an iconic, Thong Song, iconic music video. Like, I remember seeing that when I was a child. Okay, of course, we all know Let Me Love You. And of course, Work It by Missy Elliott is such an iconic song, such an iconic music video. And anybody that's around my age or a little bit older or maybe a little bit younger, you guys remember seeing the workout video, Work It. You remember seeing the Work It video and being like, ooh, that is good. And Miss June Ambrose had a little bit of something in that. And has anybody ever seen the movie Belly? Anybody? Miss June Ambrose did the costume design for that. Stop playing. Most recently, she's done the costume design and styling for Black is King for Beyonce. And currently, she is the creative director for women's basketball at Puma, which is just iconic to come from like being a stylist, costume designer into a creative director, and then to have like your looks and things that you created and curated walking down a runway. That's why I said she's definitely one of my inspirations in the industry. Of course, me being a wardrobe stylist, Black woman, Caribbean woman coming up, and to have her as somebody who is just a light. Like, not only is creative and talented, but when I tell you this woman is cool AF. Like, I've met her a couple times. We've chatted. Like, she is one of the most down-to-earth, cool ass chicks ever. Like, you wouldn't even think, like, that is June Ambrose. And she's like, okay. She just be having a good time. You could tell she loves life, and I just love seeing her on my timeline. She just seems so fun and free. And like I said, even when I talked to her and met her in person, like, she just is cool. Like, just cool and just a personable, charismatic, down-to-earth person. And it just shows you that anybody who's rude or a bitch or whatever, that's their personality. Like, that's them. I don't think that money and fame in the industry changes you. That's just you. Like, you were nice before all of that, and then you're still nice because that's just you. A lot of the times, they was a bitch and mean before that, and they just now a bitch and mean with money. Okay? But last but not least, I don't know if y'all remember when June had her reality show. It's called Style by June on VH1 in 2012. Only had one season. That was my show. I was tuned in. But you already know, during that time on VH1, everybody only cared about the drama and Love and Hip Hop, and it didn't really last on VH1. But occasionally, I'll go find those episodes of Style by June and watch it because I was really a fan. And it was just great to have like a Black stylist on TV and to see it. Of course, around that time, we had like Rachel Zoe, which Rachel Zoe is dope. You know, she was that girl. But to see a Black woman on TV styling and doing it, it was great to see June Ambrose doing it. So, yeah, hats off to my girl June.